Okay, picture this. You've poured everything, everything, late night savings, your sanity maybe into this brilliant startup idea. You finally launch it. You're excited, hopeful, and then, well, crickets. Hardly any press, not much traffic, just a few clicks here and there. And that sinking feeling hits you, realizing a great product, maybe even revolutionary, just isn't enough on its own anymore. Welcome, my friend, to what honestly feels like the startup battlefield these days. It's not just about having the next big thing. It's about making enough noise to actually be heard over everyone else. You're trying to stake your claim in a market that's already packed. It's this nonstop fight for visibility, right? Often against giants with huge budgets. And you're juggling everything, trying not to burn out, wearing 10 different hats, trying to make your small team look way bigger than it is. I mean, have you ever felt like you're just shouting into the void? You're definitely not alone there. And that exact feeling, that challenge, that's what we're really digging into today. The mission here is to unpack something we see talked about a lot, this idea of marketing fatigue, and crucially, all the opportunities that just vanish because of it. We're going to explore a system designed to tackle this head on. And joining us today is the founder of LaunchMeLoud. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
So, based on everything we've been looking into, founder stories, growth reports, you name it, this theme keeps popping up. Marketing fatigue. People often think startups fail because of money or a bad product. But there seems to be this quieter, maybe even deadlier force at work. From your perspective, what does this marketing fatigue actually look like for founders?
Yeah, absolutely. It becomes so clear talking to founders and looking at the patterns that it's not just about doing the marketing task. It's the sheer energy drain. Founders get it. They know they need visibility, daily posts, campaigns, PR outreach, constant engagement. But honestly, when you're building, fixing, talking to customers, actually making the thing, who really has the bandwidth for all that? And to do it well, we've seen brilliant founders, people building amazing things, stuck at like 1 a.m. trying to design a simple Instagram graphic or agonizing over a LinkedIn post. It's not just inefficient. It leads straight to burnout. And meanwhile, opportunities just drift away. Not because the startup isn't good enough, but literally because no one's hearing about it.
That hits on something really vital, the overwhelm. We hear these stories, right? There was Arjun, built this great B2B software, but ended up being his own stressed out social media manager. Or Sophia's team, they spent 9 months on a health tech app, launched it, and just silence. No press, no buzz, nothing. And then Jaden, running an e-commerce site, hated dealing with analytics, pouring money into ads, but totally clueless about what was actually driving sales. And Aisha, with a really promising hardware idea, just felt invisible to the investors and the talent she needed. These stories, they're everywhere, and they really paint that picture of fatigue.
Exactly. That's the quiet killer we saw. Startups often die from silence, not from a bad idea. And then when founders do try to tackle marketing, they get hit with all this jargon, maybe expensive agencies, or this messy collection of tools. Tools that feel like they're built for huge companies, not a small, scrappy team. So the grind of creating content, trying to track results, staying on all the time, it just burns them out. They end up feeling invisible, even while building something incredible.
That's a really important distinction. Okay, so if those are the problems, these deep-seated issues, where does LaunchMeLoud fit in? It's often described not just as another piece of software, but as a growth co-pilot, an ally. That sounds, well, ambitious. What makes it different from all the other marketing tools founders are already juggling?
Well, what we really wanted to do was change the whole approach. Our guiding principle was super simple. If it doesn't make life easier for founders, it doesn't belong here, period. We saw founders drowning in disconnected tools, confusing jargon, too many options. We realized they needed one place, something intuitive, an actual ecosystem for growth. It's about giving you leverage. So instead of desperately chasing customers, you start attracting them. Instead of fighting to be seen, your startup starts showing up where it needs to in the right feeds, the right articles, the right search results. And crucially, instead of managing a dozen different services, you have like a command center for growth.
Right, connecting that to the bigger picture, the way it's discussed is often as a startup launch ecosystem or a connected growth engine. That suggests something really holistic, doesn't it? Can you unpack what that actually means day to day, beyond just a feature list?
Yeah, it means your content plan, how you run campaigns, and the insights you get from analytics. They're not separate silos. They all feed into each other, work together. Think of it like a finely tuned engine, right? Every part helps the others run smoothly. Our whole goal was to stop founders from having to duct tape, 10 different tools together just to make one thing happen. It's about bringing clarity out of chaos, not adding another layer of complexity. And that's how we think smaller teams can actually compete with the big brands and their massive marketing spend. We're not trying to be just another tool in your toolkit. We're aiming to be the toolkit, the smart one that automates and streamlines the stuff that really matters.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical and interesting. Let's dig into some of the specific capabilities that people talk about and how they tackle those founder pain points you mentioned. First up, the creative suite and post scheduler. It's talked about like having an in-house design team and an always-on social media engine. So for that founder, Arjun, burning the midnight oil on Instagram posts, how does this actually help him?
Right. For Arjun and honestly, so many founders, the Creative Suite puts smart design tools right into their hands. We're talking AI, suggesting content ideas, brand templates to keep everything looking sharp and consistent. Smart workflows, so every post, every ad, every pitch looks professional, even if it's literally just you doing it.
Yep.
Then, the post scheduler lets you sit down maybe for just a couple of hours, create a whole month's worth of social content, and schedule it to go out everywhere, 24/7. This isn't just about saving time, though it definitely does that. It ensures you're consistently visible, building your brand, and it gives founders their evenings back. They can focus on the core business, knowing their marketing is ticking along.
Makes sense. Now, beyond social media, another big headache is getting actual press coverage, right? There's this feature called news publishing, framed as your own PR machine. It sounds like taking back control. How does that help someone like Sophia, whose amazing app launched to, well, silence?
Exactly. Sophia's story is tough, but it's so common. Founders shouldn't have to just sit back and hope the media notices them. Our news publishing feature lets them instantly share their own updates, milestones, new features, funding news, whatever with their community, and push it out wider. It gives them control of the story. So you're not just hoping for a mention, you're actively generating your own buzz. Every achievement becomes a news item, and that gets amplified. It helps startups build credibility and get noticed way faster, often in weeks instead of waiting months. It's a strategic advantage, controlling your own narrative, especially early on.
Okay, and then there's the startup directory and job board. This is positioned as a way to get found, like a global startup spotlight and also a startup talent hub. For Aisha, feeling isolated and invisible to investors and potential hires, how does something like this cut through?
Visibility is just paramount, isn't it? Especially if you're looking for funding or trying to attract top talent in this competitive market. The directory means Aisha's startup isn't just floating out there. It can actually be discovered by the people who matter investors actively looking for deals, journalists seeking stories, potential partners, key hires. It helps reduce that feeling of isolation that's so common on the entrepreneurial journey. It speeds up connections with people who get the startup world and want to be part of something growing fast. Makes growth feel more collaborative, less like a solo battle.
Got it. Let's talk AI funnels and AI analytics. These are described as smart growth funnels that work while you sleep and growth analytics on autopilot.
Hmm. So for Jaden, our founder who hates digging through spreadsheets and feels lost with his campaign data, how does this make his life easier but still give him real insights?
Yeah, this is where AI can be incredibly practical for a lean team. The smart growth funnels aren't just basic email drips. They use machine learning to actually adapt the customer journey on the fly based on how people engage. It optimizes the messages, the timing automatically. So your lead nurturing is happening intelligently in the background. And the growth analytics on autopilot, it does more than just show you charts. It uses AI to spot connections, like what's really driving conversions, and suggests concrete actions, not just raw data overload. So Duden can quickly see, okay, this campaign is working, let's double down. That one isn't, let's cut it. Saves time, saves money, and crucially builds confidence in his decisions. It frees up so much mental energy, you know? So founders can get back to the product, trusting their growth strategy is data-backed. And lastly, the pitch deck feature the investor-ready pitch builder. Raising capital, as pretty much every founder knows, can feel like a whole separate stressful job. How does having AI involved help streamline that?
Oh, it really can take over your life, can't it? Fundraising.
Yeah.
So our AI-assisted pitch deck builder isn't just giving you a template. It actually uses AI to analyze what investors typically look for, common questions, successful deck structures. It helps founders sharpen their story, their financials, their value proposition. The goal is to make that whole iterative process of creating and refining a deck much smoother, much faster, so founders can walk into those meetings feeling prepared and confident. It just takes some of that friction out of fundraising, freeing up that critical headspace to, actually run the business.
These different parts, hearing you explain them, they really do seem laser focused on tackling those core struggles, that pervasive overwhelm you mentioned.
That's exactly the point. Overwhelm leads to silence, which leads to missed chances, which often leads to burnout. We built LaunchMeLoud specifically to change that narrative. For Arjun, the creative tools and scheduler mean he gets his evenings back. For Sophia, news publishing helps her app get the buzz it deserves quickly. Jaden uses the AI analytics to make smart spending decisions, saving money and growing faster. And Aisha, the directory connects her with the investors and talent she needs, making growth feel less lonely. We fundamentally want founders to stop drowning in the marketing busy work and get back to focusing their energy on building something world-changing. That's the mission.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly and look ahead. The startup landscape is changing so fast, isn't it? AI is rewriting marketing playbooks, old strategies feel dated, customer expectations are sky high. Startups need to be leaner, smarter, faster than ever to grow. How is LaunchMeLoud built for that future, for these big trends?
We really see LaunchMeLoud not just as a platform for today, but as a growth engine designed for the next decade of building businesses. First, we're undeniably in the AI era. Startups that effectively leverage AI are just going to grow faster, period. So LaunchMeLoud has AI woven through its core, analyzing campaigns, optimizing those funnels, helping small teams punch way above their weight. Second, speed wins. Always has in startups, maybe more so now. Teams that can execute quickly, test ideas fast, adapt in real time, they're the ones who succeed. LaunchMeLoud is designed to cut friction, centralize everything, and help founders maintain that crucial startup velocity. And third, maybe most importantly, founders are the brand today. People connect with people, with stories, not just logos. LaunchMeLoud is built to empower founders to tell their story, own their narrative, become the recognized voice in their field. But this all comes back to what we kind of call our Founders Manifesto. AI is the co-pilot, never the captain. There's a lot of hype about automation solving everything, right? But you can't automate vision. You can't automate courage or grit or the spark of building something truly new.
We built LaunchMeLoud with the deep belief that AI should empower founders, amplify their genius, not try to replace it. It should create space for them, not drown them out.
That really emphasizes the human element, doesn't it? The tool supports the founder, amplifies you, the person driving it all. AI doesn't build companies, founders do. So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Well, let's suggest the next big breakout startups. They won't necessarily be the ones with the deepest pockets for marketing. The insights we've explored point towards fearless teams, teams armed with smart, integrated growth tools, teams who know how to leverage technology to compete effectively. It's about giving founders that crucial leverage to cut through the noise, beat that marketing fatigue we talked about. Thank you so much for walking us through the vision and the why behind LaunchMeLoud. It really sounds like this ecosystem is designed to make sure great ideas get heard, get seen, and actually have the chance to succeed.
It's been a real pleasure. Thanks for the great conversation.
The thinking here really suggests the future doesn't just belong to the loudest voices anymore. Maybe it belongs to those who have the courage to launch loud, yes, but also the smart infrastructure supporting them. So maybe think about that for your own projects, your own ideas. How are you going to make sure your vision doesn't just stay silent? That's a powerful thought to end on. We encourage you to reflect on how technology, when it's built with real human needs in mind, can truly amplify our vision and our efforts, making things possible that once seemed out of reach.